Good morning. We're so glad to have you back with us. All right, we're going to be singing some songs this morning about how big our God is and the fact that He's with us in small situations or scary situations. It doesn't matter which one. He's always there because these characters we've been talking about have been put in some really scary situations. And of course, now we're going to learn about a new character, and she is just so brave. And I can't wait for Miss Kelly to tell you about her. So let's sing about the King of the Jungle and about Jesus being King of the jungle, the sea, and the universe. Are you ready? Who's the king of the jungle? Who's the king of the sea? Bubba, bubba, bubba. Who's the king of the universe? And who's the king of me? His name is Jesus. Yes, he's the king of me. He's the king of the universe, the jungle and the sea. Bubba, 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 hoo. All right, let's do it again. You ready? Let's do it a little faster. Who's the king of the jungle? Who's the king of the sea? Bubba, bubba, bubba. Who's the king of the universe? And who's the king of me? His name is Jesus. Yes, he's the king of me. He's the king of the universe, the jungle and the sea. Bubba, 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 hoo. All right. Now, I want to teach you a really quick song, and then we're going to go to Miss Kelly for the lesson. You know the tune of this, so we're going to sing it twice because I hope you're going to catch on. All right, this is to the same song as Jesus Loves Me, but it's got a great little message that's new. It says, God is with me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. He will help me every day at my home or school or play. Yes, God is with me. Yes, God is with me. Yes, God is with me. The Bible tells me so. Let's do it one more time. That way you can learn this new one. It's really simple. God is with me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. He will help me every day at my home or school or play. Yes, God is with me. Yes, God is with me. Yes, God is with me. The Bible tells me so. All right, you're going to learn about a character who God was with her all the way, even in a very scary situation. So let's go to Miss Kelly and learn all about it.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm so glad to be back with you today. Today, we are talking about one of my most favorites. I know that I have said a lot of these characters are my favorite, and a lot of them are. We have talked about some really great characters, but today is one of my all-time, it's top five characters of the Old Testament. Her name is Esther. Say her name with me. Esther. And just like Daniel and Jonah, Esther has an entire book of the Old Testament devoted to her life and the times that she lived. She was so brave. She had such great faith in God, and God did great things with her and through her. So in the time of Esther, there was a king in Persia named Xerxes. Say his name with me, Xerxes. And he had a wife named Vashti. Now, some people say Vashti. I say Vashti. I'm not real sure how you say it. We're going to go with Vashti this morning. Now, Vashti was the queen, and they had this huge banquet, this party that lasted 180 days. So for 180 days, they were having all this food and all these people and all this huge party. And one night during the banquet, King Xerxes called for Queen Vashti to come before all the people at the party just to show them how beautiful she was. And you know what? She didn't want to do that, and she said no. And so after that, King Xerxes got so mad that he said she was not going to be the queen anymore. And so he went on a search for a new queen. Now, the same time, there was a Jewish man named Mordecai. Say his name with me. Mordecai. Now, Mordecai was a good man. He was a man of God, and he had a cousin that he had raised like a daughter, and her name was Esther. Now, Esther was very beautiful, and she was a Jewish, faithful child of God. And so Mordecai convinced Esther to go and kind of try out to be the queen, to go before the king and see if he found favor with her. And so Esther went to the palace, and they dressed her up, and she had all of these beautiful things, and she went before King Xerxes, and he thought she was the most beautiful. Of all the other women who had come to try to be the queen, she was the one who he loved the most. And so she became the queen of Persia. But she was a Jew, and she had not told anybody at the palace that she was a Jew, because a Persian king would not have chosen a Jewish queen had he known. And so she kept that a secret from everyone. And at this time, right after she became the queen, Mordecai, remember her cousin, heard these two men who worked for the king. They were talking about a plan to kill the king. They were going to kill the king. They had a plan. And so Mordecai went to Esther and said, these two men, they are going to kill the king. So you know what Esther did? She went before the king and she told him. She said, these two men that work for you, they're going to kill you. And he, in turn, killed them. So they were not successful. They did not kill King Xerxes. And he really loved Esther. Now, Esther, who was a Jew, her people were they were not being treated well. And so Mordecai really felt like Esther was going to be in a position to help them. And so we're going to learn next week about really how God used Esther in the position of being a queen to serve and to protect his people. Now, so let's rewind and review. Who was the king of Persia? Xerxes. Who was his queen that he dethroned, that he said, no, she cannot be the queen anymore? Vashti, or Vashti, still not sure. Who was the Jewish woman who became the queen of Persia? Esther. And who was Esther's cousin who convinced her to go and be the queen? Mordecai. Mordecai. Now, there is a verse in Esther chapter 4 that we are going to use this week and next week for our memory verse, okay? So the story we talked about today is in Esther chapter 1 and 2. So we're going to kind of jump forward with our memory verse because we're going to use it for next week too. And in Esther chapter 4 in verse 14, we're going to use that second part of the verse. It says, and who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. We're going to read that one more time. Esther chapter 4 and verse 14 is the second part of that verse. It says, and who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. Such a time as what? What was Esther going to do that was so important? We're going to learn about that next week. And I hope that you think about Esther. She was so brave. She was a Jew, and she went to be the queen of Persia. And she knew that God was going to protect her. Okay, have a great week, and we will be back together next week.
Good morning. We hope that you loved your lesson about Esther. My friend Anna is here with me this morning, and we're going to make a really quick little Esther. Our story is split up in two parts, so next week I've got another fun craft, but this week is easy. You're just going to need different color pieces of paper, and I'm going to walk you through it. You're going to need some scissors, markers or crayons, and aluminum foil. So just ask your mom or dad, but also you can just make the crown out of construction paper if you would like. So I want you to pick a background color, all right? It can be any color. Anna's is green, mine is blue. Now, pick a color for her dress. See, I had picked purple, Anna has picked orange, and for this one, I'm gonna do this deep pinkish red. Now, you know your shapes, so I want you to cut out a triangle, right? A triangle for the dress. So cut that out. Use your glue or your tape, either one, okay? And glue or tape it to the background that you have chosen. So in this particular one, mine is blue with a pink dress, and Anna's is green with an orange dress. All right, then choose a color for skin. I have chosen brown. Anna chose a bright yellow. You can choose whatever you would like. And you're just gonna cut a circle for Esther's head. Very, very simple. So we've done a triangle for the dress and now a circle for the head. All right, want you to tape that right on top of your triangle. So just like this, you're covering the point and you are going to tape or glue it to your background paper. So super simple. It should look like this. All right, now you can choose a hair color. Do you want, oh, I forgot you chose pink. She's gonna have a really fun Esther. So in this one, it's blonde. You can choose black. You can choose whatever color you would like. And it's pretty simple. You're just now, so we've done a triangle, we've done circles. We're gonna do very long strips. Do you see this? Very, very long strips. All right. Cut 4 at least, maybe more, but it's easy if you do 4. And once you have them dangling like this, then cut across, and you've got 4 pieces of hair. All right. You're going to glue or tape that hair to her. Now, this is where she's gonna look really funny at first. Where you're taping is just to the sides. I'm gonna show you. She's gonna look really funny. All right, do you see how I taped here? We're gonna do it on the other side. It's really simple. All right, we're gonna glue the other hair down. All right, so are you seeing how I've done this? And we're gonna see Anna's in just a second. So she's got fun pink hair. You can choose any colors. We're just making a really fun Queen Esther. I like it. All right, so they're gonna look funny like this, like they're missing hair on the top of their head. Let's look at Anna's. See? She's just missing hair up here. All right, this is where your crown comes in. This is where the aluminum foil. You don't need a lot because you're gonna look, and this is just gonna go over the top of her head. So, cut you a large rectangle, not too large. Here you go, Anna. Like this. See, it goes across the top of her head. You can do this with construction paper if you don't have aluminum foil. All right, and then you're gonna take the top and you're gonna cut those points that a crown has. All right, you can do 3, 4, how many ever you want. So in this one, I did 3. In my last one, I had 4. And you are going to tape this right on top of her head where that hair is missing. Okay, and I'm going to show you the difference in mine and Anna's and the other one that I made, because it's fine for them all to look a little bit different. That's what's so much fun. This is the first one that I made. All right, here is the one that I'm working on right now, and here is Anna's. So it's fun for them all to look a little bit different. Now here's where your creativity really gets to show. She needs eyes, so let's not forget that. They can be any color. Don't forget her eyelashes. All right. She's also going to need a nose. She's going to need a mouth. And you can do all of these things in very, very different ways. So let's look at the 3 examples that we have. Here's the first one. Here's my new one. And Anna's has got big, bright teeth for you to look at. So again, now also don't forget, she's a queen. She's gonna have necklaces on. So do something big and bold and fun there. You can decorate her dress. And also a lot of times your crown will have jewels in it. So don't forget any of those things. You can add buttons to the dresses. You can just do any of these things and it will be perfect. So again, please go ahead, get these done, send them to me. I want to see them. I love seeing your artwork every week. You've done such a good job, but I don't want you to worry about whether or not it looks like mine, because as you can see, mine looks so different, and I did both of these, and also Miss Anna did one and it's different. So I hope you've enjoyed doing your craft of Esther, and I will see you next week.